you guys are enjoying the adventures of Mark and his Uncle Jake. This is Chapter 2, Apologies. I was sitting on the bench outside the principal's office, crying like a little baby. I couldn't believe that this was happening. I kept whispering to myself over and over again, I am so stupid. I am so stupid. It was Uncle Jake's first day in town for summer vacation, and he was picking me up from the principal's office. He did so much for me last summer. He taught me how to swim and how to study. He got me into jiu-jitsu, and he also put me on a good workout program so I could actually do pull-ups. He turned me from a wimpy kid to a warrior kid, and this is how I pay him back. By getting in trouble and getting sent home from school. The more I thought about it, the more I knew how badly I had let him down, and the worse I felt. On top of that, what kind of punishment was I about to get? Was I going to be grounded for the whole summer? Longer? Maybe until Christmas? Would I even be allowed to celebrate Christmas anymore? And Uncle Jake, was he even going to talk to me now that I had done this? I put my head in my hands and sat there crying. Then I heard a familiar voice. How you doing, Mark? I looked up. It was Uncle Jake. He didn't even look mad. He didn't look upset. He just looked, well, kind of normal, I guess. But I didn't feel too normal. Not good, Uncle Jake, not good. I told him, tears running down my face. All right, well, let's get you out of here, and then you can tell me what's going on. Uncle Jake stopped into the principal's office and shut the door. I could hear them talking, but I couldn't hear what they were saying. A couple of minutes later, Uncle Jake walked out. Come on, Uncle Jake said. Take me to Miss Carpenter's room. But I'm supposed to go home, I told him. Not until you say sorry to Miss Carpenter and Nathan. But I got kicked out. The principal called the classroom. Nathan and Miss Carpenter will be waiting outside. But Nathan is the whole reason this happened, I protested. No, he's not. You can't blame other people for the things that you do. You are the reason. You lost your temper. You lost control. Because of that, you made a bad decision. You're going to apologize, and you'd better mean it. Then I will take you home. Got it? Yes, Uncle Jake, I got it. As soon as we turned down the corner in the hallway, I could see Miss Carpenter and Nathan standing alone outside the classroom. I held my head down in shame. When we got close enough, we stopped in front of them. Go ahead, Uncle Jake said. I looked up at Miss Carpenter. I felt horrible. I was really sorry that I hit her with the pumpkin, so I told her that. I'm sorry, Miss Carpenter. Okay, Mark. I'm really disappointed, but I accept your apology. Don't let it happen again. I won't, Miss Carpenter, I promise. Then I glanced at Nathan. He had a little smirk on his face. I didn't want to say sorry to him. Why would I? He was the whole reason I was there. And, Uncle Jake said, I stood there. This was awful. I had to either apologize to my worst enemy for something he made me do, or not do what my Uncle Jake, the best uncle in the world, was telling me to do. Uncle Jake followed up sternly. Mark, go ahead and apologize. This is one of those situations where I realized Uncle Jake was not going to let me do what he wanted me to do, whether I liked it or not. I didn't read that right. Let me go back and read that again. This is one of those situations where I realized Uncle Jake was going to get me to do what he wanted me to do, whether I liked it or not. So I swallowed hard, looked at the ground, and mumbled, I'm sorry. What? Said Uncle Jake. Louder. There was no getting around this. And I figured I was in big enough trouble anyway. So I took a deep breath, looked Nathan in the eyes and said, "I'm sorry, Nathan." Nathan's smirk turned into a smile and he said, "I'll bet you are." He barely finished those words when Miss Carpenter cut him off quickly. "Nathan James, you cut it with that attitude and accept Mark's apology. Now." He knew he could get in trouble too, so he stepped back, looked up at me and said, "Apology accepted, Mark." It didn't sound very convincing, but it was enough for Miss Carpenter, who then put her arm around Nathan, thanked Uncle Jake, and guided Nathan back into the classroom. Once Nathan was in the classroom, Miss Carpenter bent down and looked at me in the eyes. "You were better than that, Mark. At least you should be." She looked really disappointed in me, and I felt like I'd really let her down. Then she turned, walked into the classroom, and shut the door. "Come on, Mark," Uncle Jake said as he spun around and headed toward the exit. "Let's get you out of here." And that's the end of chapter 2.